Hello children, welcome back. Stand there. This is your Vanashree ma'am teaching physics to you. The topic today that I will be discussing is light. Okay. Now let us learn. You already have learned about light in your smaller class, in your previous class. You know that light is a form of energy. Okay. You already know that light is a form of energy. Do you also know that light travels in straight path? Do you know all this? I am sure you have learnt all this in your 6th standard. Light travels in a straight path, and this phenomenon is called rectilinear propagation of light. Okay, we have also learned the formation of shadow. When light falls on opaque object, the shadow of the object is formed. Okay, so now today we will learn what happens when light falls on a shining surface, on a shining smooth surface. Okay, for example, a mirror. Okay, actually whenever light falls on any object, be it shiny object, be it opaque object, be it transparent, be it translucent object, a part of the light is absorbed and a part of the light is bounced back. Bounced back means it comes back. Means suppose if you hit a ball on the ground, the ball bounces back. That is the best example of light bouncing back when it strikes. Now it depends upon the type of or nature of the substance on which the light is falling. If the light is falling on an opaque object, a part of the light is absorbed by the opaque object and part of it is reflected back or bounced back. In of the light, bouncing back of light, in scientific term we call reflection of light. Okay, because of this bouncing back of light or reflection of light, we are able to see the objects. How we are able to see? Because when light from a source of light or from a luminous body falls on any opaque object, on any object for that matter, a part of the light bounces back from the object and reaches the retina of our eye. Only then we are able to see the object. So this reflection of light or bouncing back of light, okay, bouncing back of light in our colloquial language, the bouncing back of light is called reflection of light in scientific terms. Okay, so reflection of light. How do you explain this reflection of light? Bouncing back of light when light falls on an object. Okay, when light falls on a surface of any object, a part of it bounces back, and this bouncing back of light is called, after striking a surface or object, is called reflection of light. So the bouncing back of light after striking the surface of an object is called reflection of light. Now we will learn more about the reflection of light. Okay. Now this reflection of light takes place maximum when light strikes a smooth shiny surface like for example a mirror. Mirror reflects maximum light that falls on it. Okay, a plain mirror reflects maximum light that falls on it. A part of it no doubt is absorbed by it always, but maximum light is reflected back, that is maximum light bounces back. Okay, so now we will learn certain terms, okay, related to reflection. Now let us consider this diagram. Suppose this is a plane mirror. Okay, what does this shaded part indicate? This is that you must have seen the mirror is polished on the actually mirror is nothing but a glass sheet, a glass plate which is polished with silver. Okay, anyway, suppose this is the mirror, that this is the shining part and this is the behind part. Suppose we call this mirror as dash. So dash is suppose a plain mirror. Okay, now why I have taken plain mirror? Because it reflects maximum light. That is why we have taken the example of a mirror. Now, suppose a light ray is incident from that is it falls on this mirror like this. Suppose a light ray, say PQ, okay, falls on this mirror at this point, say Q. So this light ray, suppose is coming from a source of light, it is incident. Then when it is striking on this mirror, we say it is incident on this mirror. And this ray of light PQ is called incident ray. What is this called? This is called incident ray. Okay. Now, when a light ray PQ is incident at a point Q, then this point Q is called point of incidence. Is called point of incidence. Okay. Now, this light ray PQ, when it falls on this brightly polished mirror MM1, it is reflected back or it bounces back in this manner. Okay, in the form of light ray QR. Okay, so this light ray which is bouncing back, that is called reflected ray. QR is called reflected ray. Okay, so PQ is the incident ray, QR is the reflected ray. Now, and the point Q is called the point of incidence. Okay. Now, there is another term which you will learn is normal. Now, normal is an imaginary line which is drawn perpendicular at the point of incidence and perpendicular to the mirror, perpendicular to the surface where the light is incident. Normal is a line, is an imaginary line. It does not exist. We have imagined it for our understanding. So normal is a line drawn perpendicular to the surface of the mirror from the point of incidence. Okay. Let us name this normal as say N dash. N dash is the normal. So now, normal is the perpendicular drawn. So till now what all we learned? Incident ray PQ, a light ray which is striking a plane surface, brightly polished mirror dash which is striking the surface is called incident ray. The point Q where the incident ray strikes the mirror is the point of incidence, and the path of the light ray in which the light ray bounces back, that is QR, is called the reflected ray. Okay. So let us write down these definitions. These definitions are very, very important. So let us write down one by one. Incident ray. Incident ray. A ray of light which falls on the reflecting surface of the mirror is called the incident ray. A ray of light a ray of light, okay, which falls, ray of light which falls on the reflecting surface of the mirror is called what? Incident ray. A ray of light which falls on the reflecting surface of the mirror is called the incident ray. Okay, this is your first definition. Second definition, reflected ray. Reflected ray. The ray of light which bounces back from the reflecting surface of the mirror is called the reflected ray. The ray of light which bounces back. The ray of light which bounces back from the reflecting surface of the mirror from the reflecting surface of the mirror is called the reflected ray. Is it clear? Now, point of incidence. The point at which the light ray strikes the reflecting surface is the point of incidence. The point at which the incident ray strikes the reflecting surface of the mirror is called the point of incidence. Okay, clear till here? Then normal. Normal is a line drawn perpendicular, line drawn perpendicular to the surface of the mirror at the point of incidence. Okay, these are the terms that we have learned so far. Now I will teach you two more terms, that is angle of incidence and angle of reflection. Let us go back to our picture. This is the picture. Now the angle between the incident ray and the normal, the angle between the incident ray and the normal is called angle of incidence. Angle of incidence, we denote it as small I. And angle of reflection is the angle between the reflected ray and the normal. This is called angle of reflection, denoted by small r. Okay. So what is angle of incidence? Angle found between the incident ray and the normal is called the angle of incidence, denoted by I. So here angle PQN is angle of incidence and angle RQN is the angle of reflection in this diagram. Okay. So let us write down angle of incidence. This is denoted by small I. Okay. The angle between the incident ray and the normal at the point of incidence is called angle of incidence, denoted by I. Okay, denoted by small I. Now in this figure, which is angle of incidence? Angle of incidence is angle PQN. Okay, angle PQN. In the figure, angle PQN is I. Okay, then angle of incidence we have done. Now angle of reflection, denoted by R. Okay, the angle between the reflected ray and the normal, the angle between the reflected ray and the normal is called the angle of reflection, denoted by R, small r. Okay. Now in the figure, which is the angle of reflection? Angle of reflection is this angle, that is angle RQN. Okay, angle RQN is angle of reflection R. Okay, Clear till here? Okay. Now we will learn a very important topic, laws of reflection. Laws of reflection. Now there are two laws of reflection. The first law says that the angle of incidence I is always equal to the angle of reflection R. And the second law says the incident ray, the reflected ray and the normal at the point of incidence all lie in the same plane. Lie in the same plane means here suppose in this diagram, see the incident ray, the normal, the reflected ray all are in this plane of the whiteboard, right? So they always lie in the same plane. It is not a three-dimensional. It is two-dimensional. This is a two-dimensional one, right? That is why. Okay, that is the meaning. And the first law says angle of incidence I is equal to angle of reflection R. Suppose if I is 30 degrees, then R also will be 30 degrees. Clear? Is it very clear? So the two laws of reflection are, there are two laws of reflection. One, the angle of incidence I is always equal to the angle of reflection R. Okay, implies angle I is always equal to angle R. Okay, and the second law, the incident ray the reflected ray the reflected ray and the normal at the point of incidence lie on the same plane. Okay, so now these two, the laws of reflection are very important conceptually as well as from point of view of your assessments. Okay, so now do this small exercise that I am giving. All these exercises you will have to submit when the school reopens. Okay, so please keep writing, otherwise you will have piled up all the work, and just before the school reopens you will be burdened with too much of writing. So keep writing as and when I or any other teacher gives you any work. Keep doing the work. It will be good for you. Okay. So now go through this lesson thoroughly 2-3 times till you understand the concept, and then answer the following questions. As you know, you may answer these questions, you may write these questions in any rough notebook or in any foolscap sheet. Okay. Fill in the blanks. Okay. You will copy the entire statement and then fill in the blank with the right option given. Okay. Fill in the blanks by selecting the right option. Okay. The bouncing back of light after striking a surface is called dash. The options are rectilinear, propagation of light, or reflection of light. The ray of light which strikes the reflecting surface of a mirror is called dash. The options are incident ray or reflected ray. Okay. And the third one, the ray of light which bounces back. The ray of light which bounces back from the surface of the reflecting the ray of light which bounces back from the surface of the reflecting mirror, or which bounces back from the surface of the mirror, basically from the surface of the mirror, is called dash. Options are incident ray or reflected ray. Okay. The point at which A light ray strikes the surface is called dash. Options are point of reflection or point of incidence. Okay, then the angle between the incident ray and the normal is denoted by dash. I, yeah, R. That's your options. The angle between the reflected ray and the normal is denoted by dash. I or R. Okay. The angle of incidence is equal to angle of dash. Options are okay. Now and do this small exercise, go through the lesson thoroughly, understand the concept and write down the fill in the blanks with the correct option and keep ready. Thank you for observing. In my next class I will be continuing the lesson. Thank you for watching, children. Do take care of yourselves and your family members. Stay healthy, stay blessed. God bless you.